So my name is Kurt Grosjean, and along with Dan, Lily, and Josh, we run the lab here, Darkroom Lab. I've done this for a long time. I was raised by photographers in Wyoming. The house was part house, part studio, part lab. So as I was around 8 years old and bored, I asked my mom, what can I do? She said, well, come on in. She showed me how to process black and white film. So I started black and white film processing about eight years old, and that was 4x5 film. So I had a tray of chemistry, and just with your hands you'd be shuffling the negatives, and that's how I got involved in the actual lab part of it. My dad, he encouraged me to do photography since about 8 years old too. He gave me a Yashica mat, told me, if it's bright and sunny, use this f-stop. If it's in shade, then change to this f-stop. And the most important thing he said, if it doesn't look good, don't push the shutter button. And that's where I began. We process all black and white film by hand. The reason for that is the development times are varied for different films. Each film will have, almost every different film has a different development time. Some of them are similar, but be off by 30 seconds or a minute or whatever. The C41 film is a leader card transport. Nothing ever touches the film. The film is taped to a leader card. The leader card is pulled through the chemistry, and the film is just free-flowing behind there to avoid scratches and things of that nature. That's an Noritsu piece of equipment. We have a lot of different type of scans. We have a Frontier scanner that scans 35 millimeter, 120, the different formats of 120 film. And we've taken upon ourselves to customize masks so that we can scan some of the more obscure film sizes that are old negatives and things of that nature. We've got a $13,000 flatbed scanner that is just a wonderful scanner for flatbed work, and that's got a 12x18 bed. This one does a 3-pass and then an XY stitching to get no sweet spot on the scanner. And we can do 4-piece scans in that and stitch them together to where we can scan upwards of 24x36 on that scanner. The printers, we do anything from inkjet printing to very large prints. We use a Frontier scanner and printer. That writes with a laser. It's still a wet process photograph, so it's a 100-year archival photograph. It's still a chemical process print. It's not an inkjet print. And it's very, very high quality print. That goes up to about a 12x25 print on that particular printer.
My name is Daniel. I work here at the Darkroom. I'm going to be taking you on a little bit tour of the lab we have here. This is the Fuji Frontier that we do all of our printing on. It will do up to 4x6 up to 12x18s. This is the main scanner. We can do 120, 135, pretty much any black and white color film you want to do. This is where we do our black and white processing. We do everything by hand, 120, 220, and 135. These are our paper magazines. We do a variety of sizes. We have the 5-inch, 6-inch, 10-inch, and 12-inch in both glossy, luster, and some pearl finishes. They go right here into this printer here. We load 2 of them at a time so we can do a variety of prints without having to switch any of the magazines.
We look at everything, we see everything. We understand what people are looking for when they shoot film, and even when you're doing your digital prints with us, we don't just push print. Most places, they set your files into a queue, they say print. And if your file looks good, it's printed. If it looks bad, it's printed. We take a look at everything, we adjust everything. If we see there's an issue, we may even call you and say, listen, are you really sure you want to print this print? It's going to crop odd. The file, the size you're asking for doesn't work with this image, things of that nature. We care about making sure that the product we're producing represents what we want to represent as photography. In fact, I tell photographers, and this is good information for photographers, a lot of your clientele wants digital files now. If you shoot and hand over digital files, your image, your work is only as good as wherever that particular person's decide to have your print done. So let's say you are a great photographer, you hand over your files, this guy goes to Walmart or to wherever. If he gets a lousy print, your work is lousy. I would suggest as you do your work, when you hand over your files, give them at least one, if not two, final prints that you've approved by a lab that you've approved, and say, this is what my work looks like. If this isn't what you get done, it's not because my work is bad, it's because you're using an inferior lab. If you go to darkroomlab.com and create an account, you're able to do any of the printing that you would do as you walk in the store directly from the comfort of your home. You can do headshots, you can set up the headshot, you can put your name on there, you can take a look and see what it looks like before you do multiples. You can do anything from posters to postcards to business cards to whatever. We have a very good offset press. We can do anything from stand-up banners for trade shows to postcards to be mailed out for promotional materials, posters, pretty much anything that you can think of we can do. Step and repeats for galas where you have photographs being done in front of step and repeats. Pretty much anything you can imagine we can take care of for you.